So my multiple choice fact is all but one of the following actors were the first choices for famous action roles that later went to other people.
Oh.
So
all but one.
All but one of them, yeah. Who's the odd one out? So here it is. Meryl Streep was originally cast as Ripley in Aliens. Will Smith was originally cast as Neo in The Matrix. Tom Jones was originally cast as Dirty Harry. And Tom Selleck was originally cast as Indiana Jones. I mean, these people were cast, right? So every single one of them were cast. They had the role, and for various reasons had to then back out of the project. So
Okay,
one of them isn't, but yeah, like the others all are. So yeah, I mean, I'll give it to you again. It's Meryl Streep, originally cast as Ellen Ripley in Aliens. Will Smith, originally cast as Neo in Matrix, and Tom Jones as Dirty Harry, and Tom Selleck as Indiana Jones. I mean, they all seem ridiculous, don't they? Now
Will
that we
Smith
look back at it,
maybe Will Smith, Neo, maybe, and Meryl Streep.
Neo. No, hang on. Whoa. We're not talking about a Xhosa man here. This is not like Neo Mutlanga. This is Neo. Yeah, he is the one, you know?
Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah. It's not like... yeah.
I can believe the Meryl Streep. I can possibly believe the Will Smith. Then your Dirty Harry, Tom Jones. I don't even know if he ever did any acting. That seems totally ridiculous, as does Tom Selleck and Indiana Jones. But Tom Selleck was big with Magnum, so maybe it was considered. So I'm gonna have to go with Tom Jones being cast as Dirty Harry.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say that's the odd one out. There's no ways that was true.
Okay. Turns out you were 100% correct. Congratulations, you picked it.
Ah, good.
Yeah, the one that really surprised me was Meryl Streep, because Meryl Streep was cast. They did the first like screen tests and everything with her. They did all the kind of rehearsals with her. They had her kind of like Meryl Streep. When you think back on her, like as Ellen Ripley in Alien, you know, like it's insane.
I'm sure she would have done a good job.
So they ultimately decided she was too delicate. She wasn't giving off the kind of strong woman vibe that Ellen needed. Yeah, that Sigourney. And then Sigourney Weaver and Meryl Streep actually went to acting school together. So in those early days, they were competing a lot for roles. So yeah, the fact that she landed up getting it. I was surprised when I heard that Meryl Streep was the originally first cast Ellen Ripley. It was
So what you're saying is Will Smith was originally cast.
So he was
Neo.
actually cast as Neo. He was cast as Neo, and he backed out of it based on advice from an agent. So an agent said to him, like, this is not a good view, like, move for you. You need to get out of it. Which, you know, I mean, long run, probably a bad idea, right? It's been really good for Keanu Reeves' career, despite the lack of popularity of the other movies. And then Tom Selleck had to drop Indiana Jones. Yeah, he had to drop Indiana Jones because he'd already filmed the pilot for Magnum, and then Magnum got picked up and became a series, and so he had to. Yeah, he couldn't make the commitment, so he had to drop out. So he was the original Indiana Jones.
You probably made a fair packet though from Magnum.
Oh no, almost certainly. But it's also kind of strange because, you know, obviously George Lucas was involved in the making of Star Wars and made Harrison Ford famous. So the fact that Harrison Ford then goes and stars in George Lucas's next project, being Indiana Jones, is kind of natural, right? It feels like, of course, he selected the dude that absolutely crushed it as Han Solo, and then cast him as Indiana Jones. But that's not actually what happened. They cast Tom Selleck and they brought in Harrison Ford as a kind of substitute. And there's another connection on there, is that Kurt Russell was originally cast as Han Solo. And then again, Harrison Ford kind of sneaks in the back door on that one.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford has these two kind of really iconic characters that he got second.
Wow.
But yeah, you were right. Absolutely. Tom Jones, ridiculous. I thought by giving you an absolutely ridiculous answer, you'd go,
it might be the...
I
thought I was going to get it wrong because I thought that's the obviously... Well, they're all... Like Tom Selleck was ridiculous for me, as was Tom Jones. But I thought I'm probably going to get a surprise. I'm going to choose the really ridiculous one, and it's going to be.
And if I'd said Frank
herring.
Sinatra,
Frank Sinatra as Dirty Harry,
as Dirty Harry, yeah,
I would have thought maybe, hey, maybe.
because he was originally cast as Dirty Harry.
Woo-wee!
So there you are.
Wow.